So I know that was pretty scary, but let's talk facts for a second and what you can do to protect yourself. 99% of all computers out there are subject to being hacked. And the most expensive hack was back in 2004. It's called MyDoom. It cost over $38.5 billion in damage. That was 2004. You can imagine what it would be like today. And some people think that as long as they're careful with their email, that they're fine, that social media is not going to be a problem, but the fact of the matter is, that's completely false. You know, you've got 64% of all internet users out there use social media, and the hackers know that, and they're using that as a tool as well. They have things called like jacking. You know, on Facebook, when you click that like button, well, there are hackers out there that will create these false like buttons. So when you click on them, it automatically pulls information and downloads files on your computer. You have things like link jacking, where you think you're clicking on a safe link for one of your buddy's posts, and next thing you know, you're redirected to a different site, and it's downloading vicious files on your computer as well. So what can you do? Well, the first thing you can do is make sure you have virus protection installed in your computer. If you're going to do anything, make sure that's a minimum of what you do, and make sure it's turned on. You know, I understand that sometimes virus protection can slow your computer down. Most virus protection these days have options that you can turn on that it'll go through, and before you're allowed to open any email, it'll actually look inside the files in the email and let you know if there's something to be worried about before they open. Before you go to a website, it'll actually look at that website and give you an alert if they think that that's a site that could potentially send files down to your computer that would corrupt it or cause damage or hacking opportunities. They do slow your computer down, but it's just a little bit, and trust me, it's a lot less time than it's going to take you to go wipe your whole computer and try to recreate some of that information. The second thing you want to do is make sure you back up your computer consistently. You know, there's a virus out there, it's called ransomware. What it does is hackers will get into your computer, they'll upload this virus, it'll encrypt everything on your computer and it won't let you into Windows. But what it will do is give you a prompt that says, if you send X number of dollars to this location, we'll release and unencrypt your computer for you and you'll be able to get your data. They do that more for small businesses. That's their business model is to go and encrypt small business computers, get in there with that virus. So make sure you're doing backup. So if something like that happens, after you turn it over to the FBI, you don't have to worry about it because you can just upload your most recent backup. Also, make sure you're using different passwords. The Heartbleed bug taught us a lesson a few years ago when it went through and went to certain sites like Facebook and others that arguably for most of us had no monetary value. But then it took those login and passwords and ran algorithms on sites that were very important to us. The financial sites, Capital One, Discover, places that had our personal information in there. And it captured a lot of personal stuff from credit card information down to our personal health records. If you use different passwords for all your logins, they won't be able to do that when they send out those types of viruses. Now, what does that mean from a difficulty standpoint of keeping track of all those passwords? I understand that's pretty hard, but there's a lot of applications out there. Dashlane is one, LastPass is one, that will help you keep track of all those individual passwords for your different sites so you don't have this huge notebook. Anyway, I hope that's helpful, and as always, if I can ever be of any assistance, please reach out to my office.